Hello, my name is John Occhi. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams and the Excellence in Real Estate team. I want to thank you for joining me. This is the second part of my multi-part report on negotiations for both buyers and sellers and how to get the most out of every deal. All right, what we're talking about today is some of the key questions that people need to ask when they're in a negotiation situation. And not only it's key questions, but information that we need to gather. Now, one thing, there's one of the rules of negotiation. It doesn't always hold true, but need to keep in mind that whoever talks about price and terms first, they're usually the ones that lose. It's not always true, but it's kind of like if you have to ask how much it is, you can't afford it. Well, if you have to bring up the price, then you're the one who's putting it on the table, and you're starting the negotiation going against you at that particular point. There are exceptions to that, of course, but be very cautious. Be very cautious about working in that type of a situation. All right, now I said that what we need to do is we need to ask questions. We need to do some type of discovery. And if you're the buyer of a particular, you want to buy a particular piece of property, it's real imperative that you find out what the seller's true motivations are. And you can often ask the seller or ask the seller's agent. Sometimes they're going to share this information with you. Sometimes they're going to be rude. And sometimes they're just going to outright lie. Okay, and that happens. Okay, and if it happens, it happens. But at least you have the motivation that they want you to believe. But you always want to try and find out what the real motivation is. Now, one of the things that you need to know is how much did that seller pay for that property, and how long ago? So in other words, if they've owned the property, and let's say they've owned a piece of property for 10 years, they paid $150,000 for it, and they want $750 now, and they have all equity. I mean, that's a lot of cash. So they're walking away with over $600,000 cash money. Well, it might be to their advantage in order to sell the property quicker with maybe better terms, but for less money. And if you know they have that type of equity and they're walking away with a large windfall, well, a slightly smaller windfall isn't going to make that much of a difference. Okay, so motivation and price are two real key critical factors that you want to stress. The longer that a person has owned the property, the better purchase price one can usually negotiate. All right. And let's see, you want to, as I say, you want to ask why the seller is selling. That's real important. And as far as their motivation, okay, and sometimes you can make offers when people you find out why they want to sell. They may have more things to sell. Okay, you may be able to get by with unsolicited offers, and this is something that's really good if you have a piece of vacant land that you want to buy, and it's an out-of-town seller. Yeah, the seller may be, I've been thinking about getting around to doing that, but I got to go find an agent. I got to do this. And, there's just more. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth to put a property on the market, and sometimes an offer just comes in the mail, and they say, "Wow, this is really nice. Here's an offer. Here's a check. Let's do something about this and let's sell the property," because that's what we wanted to do for a long time. So finding out why, and is there tax reasons why? Are they taking advantage of Section 121, Internal Revenue Section 121, where there's $250,000 in capital gains they can walk away with, or $500,000 per married couple? And these are some key factors right here. So with that being said, I'm going to cut this segment short. I'm going to ask you to come back when in the next section, section number 3, we're going to talk about the key components of any negotiation and how they affect both the buyer and the seller in a real estate transaction. So until next time, this is John Occhi wishing you and yours all the best. Make every day a great day, because every day is just so precious. Thanks again, and God bless to you. Bye-bye.